Paramahamsa Nityananda, a compelling spiritual force of our millennium, founder of an international socio-spiritual movement, pioneer of a modern Vedic renaissance. Born in the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai, a yogi by birth, fearless spiritual explorer, beacon of divine power, Paramahamsa Nityananda is today an inspiration for millions on the path. Adept in ancient mystical yogic sciences, researcher of the science of spirituality, guru for enlightenment. Every year, Paramahamsa Nityananda shares with over 1 crore people worldwide the treasures of his wisdom, the joy of his laughter, and the incomparable power of his initiation. Now, Paramahamsa Nityananda speaks on living enlightenment, solutions for blissful living. Join us for an unforgettable spiritual experience.
Krishna enters into the next spectrum. He says the self is said to be unmanifest, unthinkable, unchangeable. Knowing this to be such, you should not grieve. He is giving a practical instruction. Do not suffer. Nanu sochitum arhasi. Please understand. You may say, yes, we know, soul is beyond joy, beyond pain, beyond suffering. I understand. But I will not have pleasure, I will not have joy. Why should I not suffer? Please understand, always all the highest philosophies can be connected completely the opposite way it should be connected. I can say this should be the statement for all of you. Take this as a direct message from Bhagavan. Don't grieve for anything. I tell you, you don't need to do anything else in your life. You don't need yoga, you don't need meditation, you don't need pranayama, you don't need kriya, you don't need devotion, you don't need anything. Just take this one vow. I will not suffer, that's all. Do not allow any suffering in you. Physical, mental, psychological, emotional. Don't allow any suffering. Whenever a suffering is forced on you, for example, physical pain, look into it. And don't allow that idea of pain settling in you. Please understand. All your ambition, action, everything starts when you accept life is pain. Which is not the truth. I tell you, nothing else is required in your life, not only to achieve enlightenment. You see, you don't need to do anything in your life. If you want enlightenment, health, $1 billion, not million, billion, $1 billion, and beautiful relationships, everything, all the auspicious things you aspire, all the auspicious things you think you need in your life, I give you. See, please understand, when I say something, I will be really, really practical. If you get into a coal mine or the place where they keep the charcoal bags, if you go in and come out, naturally the black dust will be on your body. Same way, just decide this one truth: I will not suffer. That's all. Enlightenment will sit on you like a dust. I tell you, enlightenment is nothing more than a small dust. For a person who has decided, Nanu shochitu marhasi. Don't grieve, even if it is based on foolish logic. See, sometimes people don't grieve just because of the foolish logic. They say, it's okay, this is not there, that is not there, okay, there is no suffering. Even if it is from wrong logic. If you hold on to the understanding, I will not grieve anymore, I tell you, you will fall into the right logic. Because with wrong logic, you cannot deny suffering for quite a long time. After a few years, at some point, you have to come to the right logic. If you want to hold on to that one truth, no suffering. Don't grieve for anything. One small story about wrong logic. Young man completed his medical school, went back to the home in a small town to work with his father. Father also is a doctor. They went out the first day to make house calls. As they went in the first house, the father said, now you watch me, so you will know what to do. Both went inside. Inside, a woman was in the bed and she looked terrible. The old doctor checked her out. He was making notes. When he dropped his pen to the floor, he picked it up and told the woman she need to quit cleaning and working so hard in her house. She just needed rest. When they got outside, the son asked how he knew that she was cleaning too much. The old doctor said that when he dropped his pen on the floor, it was so clean that there was not a speck of dust anywhere. When they arrived at the next house, the father told his son, now it is your turn, go and examine the patient. Son learnt the lesson, he is now ready. He goes. At this house also, a woman was in bed, looking terrible. The young doctor took her blood pressure, pulse, asked few questions and made some notes. Then again his pen also dropped. He reached down to pick it up. After he got up, he told the woman, you are doing too much of church work, too much of religion is the reason for your problem. Anyhow, he told her, keep away from religion. Both the doctors went out. In the car, the old doctor asked the son, how do you know that too much of religion is our problem? The young man said, well, when I bent down to pick up my pen, I saw the preacher under the bed. Understand? Whether right logic or wrong logic. If you decide no suffering, just decide clearly, no suffering. Fanatically decide, no suffering. I tell you, even a moment of your breathing time is not worthy of suffering. Suffering is too small. Every moment you experience you are alive is too costly to be spent on ordinary suffering. Basically, Sat, the truth, the existence is Chit, consciousness, and Ananda. Sat and Chit and Ananda does not get separated. Please understand. Existence, consciousness, bliss, all three of them never get separated. If you are suffering, those moments of your suffering, you do not exist. Your life is blackout. The time is the time you go through the blackout. People ask me sometimes, how can I stop suffering, Swamiji? I am not able to logically understand I should be joyful. Arey, with wrong logic, when you can suffer so much, why can't you enjoy with wrong logic? Many times your suffering has no support, but you continue to suffer. Many times you even understand logically it is wrong, but you develop a pattern. Even if it is logically wrong, you continue to suffer. Even if it is logically right, you don't want to enjoy. You don't want to be in joy. The bliss, joy adds vibrancy to your life. I tell you, not suffering is the ultimate spiritual practice. If you can hold on to that one, even enlightenment will be just dust at your feet. How when you walk, dust gathers around your feet. The enlightenment will gather at your feet. I tell you, the greatest way to have enlightenment is it should be offered at your feet. Not that you will stand with a begging bowl for a long time and it will be dropped in your bowl. No. If it is dropped in your bowl, any time it can be taken away. You can lose it. You grow to the level where you don't care about enlightenment. It is just a side effect of the dust raising while you walk. Understand? The spectrum where the enlightenment happens, the spectrum where the sadhana, spiritual practices are happening, no way connected. It is like all the frogs gather together and decide they wanted to migrate to some other country. They all realized how to go to some other country. They realized the only way is to catch a flight and get into the flight and reach to other country. So all of them are planning how to catch a flight. One intelligent frog with a long beard says, "Hey, have you not seen every day morning the flight goes over our forest? Tomorrow let us all stop the flight and get into the flight and go to the other country." Next day they try to stop that flight. They all gather and shout, shout, shout. No, pilot never heard. Then third day, they all put a huge loudspeaker and started shouting, "Hey, we are all here, we are all your passengers. Please take us to the next country." Pilot did not stop. Third day they decided, we will do a strike. We will stop the flight on the sky. They all gathered, all the threads they can and put all the threads together, try to create a huge ladder with so much of effort. The whole country struggled. All the big frogs tried their best to bring all big threads, ropes. Some of the frogs even built the body to build this structure. After 10 years of hard work, they created huge rope bridge which is 7 feet tall. And aircraft is going in 70,000 feet height, that's all. Can ever these frogs create a ladder and do a strike and stop the aircraft? No. All their effort to stop the aircraft and getting the attention of the pilot is useless. At some time, you don't know the reason, suddenly pilot wanted to land in that forest for some reason. Even if pilot wants, he cannot land completely. He can lower to certain level and drop a rope and tell the frogs come one by one. That is the maximum thing even pilot can do. That is what it does. When he almost comes down and drops the rope is called incarnation. And as the frogs come on one by one, get in. I tell you, there is no other way. All your efforts are just useless.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nityananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nityananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nityananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.